Hello, this is Uncle Jim. And last night, my son surprised me. He whipped this out of his pocket and said, I thought you might like this. And I was like, wow, hell yeah, mm-hmm. And so this is the JMAC muzzle brake, silencer, and blast diverter adapter. So you can do 3 in 1. And it's really well made. This is the 360, so you don't have to time it. You just screw it on. And it's got a muzzle brake all the way around. And then you have your suppressor mount and your blast diverter. So he knew I wanted something like this for my Foxtrot 45 AR pistol, because I just want to leave something on there instead of using the adapter and screwing it on every time. It gets dirtier on the threads when you do that, and it doesn't move around. So we're using the inside of the can instead of the adapter and the can on the muzzle. So I can leave this on there. And that is just priceless. This is one of my babies, and I wanted something dedicated to it so I don't have to switch on and off using the adapter, whether it's 44 Magnum or whatever. I just keep this on there and we're good. All right, so I'm not really a muzzle brake guy. I don't like loud, but this has 3 options, and so it's so nice. Now, it's lower profile where it goes on the barrel. You can see the difference here, and that's where I ran into a snag because I have a skinny handguard, a stock Foxtrot on here, and when you screw this on all the way down, the can is going to hit the handguard, so we had to space that. But I do like the low profile for all the other guns, okay? So I'll show you what we did. So you can use spacers that are concentric, specifically for silencers or whatever. This one happens to be aluminum, and I had reamed this one out. So we're all concentric here, and I put that on there, and I was like, it kind of sticks out a little too much from the handguard. And so you don't want to use crush washer. You don't want to use like regular washers like this, because you don't know if they're concentric, if they're the same diameter all the way around. This one actually works. But my son was at a garage sale from a machinist one time and got a whole bucket of these, and they're already blued and they're concentric. And so this was more like 1/2 by 2/8. So we had to ream this out for the 45 barrel and 44 mag, whatever. And so we found the perfect spacing, because this was too thick and this was just right. It was like the 3 bears. So he reamed that out, and we'll put this on and I'll show you, and it's perfect. Now let me do a close-up for this. This is their other systems they have is just a muzzle brake on each side. So you'd have to time it with shim washers, kind of like, you know, blasting out the side. My son has the kind that blasts out the side on his 9mm AK and his MP5 clone, Zenith. But since this was on sale, it's a few bucks more. He got this one now, and that was great. That was great. He got a good deal on it. And these are so well made. These guys really do a good job. So this is going to stay on there forever, so I don't have to dink around with the adapter. So we'll install this. I guess you can't screw anything on YouTube. But basically, I'm going to put this spacer on here now, and I'm just going to give it a drop of blue Loctite. Normally, this system doesn't come loose, but once you tighten her down, The can comes right off of here, and it's not like an adapter where it sticks to the can and then this is stuck to the barrel and you got to fuss around. This you really don't have to, because we're going off of here on the shoulder that fits the thread in the can here. Okay. And then you have the luxury, if you want, to use a blast diverter. Okay, they sell these separately, but that goes on there and all your blast goes forward. So you can be loud, you can blast forward, or you can be quiet. And that's our thing. So we have all the options, and this one's gonna stay on the gun. And he knew that because this one's my baby. I love the 45 Foxtrot. I have the 9. The 9 has its own 9mm threading. So it's not 1/2 by 2/8, it's 1/2 by 3/6, and it's the only thing I need for that. And so that one on my 9mm stays on there. Okay, it's always on there, so I don't have to worry about that. You could use this for 9 or get their one with smaller diameter, but this is more versatile. I can put this on my 44 mag lever action, my contender, whatever. But this one is just going to stay on my baby. This is one of my favorite guns. All right, so we'll put that on and see how it looks like. And I think we got the spacing just perfect for this skinny handguard, which I also love. Okay, as a side note, these washers my son got a whole bunch of. They would work on 1/2 by 2/8, but we're going 5/8 by 2/4. For 45 and 44, and that's your common threads. And when you ream out a washer, you know, a washer likes to move around when you're reaming it and everything. It's a pain if you guys ever done that before. He actually made a little jig so he can ream out washers while he was at it. It only took him a few minutes, but the guy's a genius. My son's a genius. So he did a perfect job. It fits super tight. Okay, and then rides right on the shoulder. So everything is clean. I'm going to put 1 drop of blue Loctite so I can take this off whenever I want, but it'll never come loose while we're shooting. Okay, all the threads are clean. I'm just going to give it 1 drop of Permatex blue here, and it really doesn't need much at all, because that really usually isn't the problem. When you have your adapters here, this usually sticks to the barrel, and you go to unscrew your can and you're like, son of a bitch, that's still on there. With this system, I don't ever have to worry about that again, because we're going off of this size inside the can. And you guys that have cans know what I'm talking about. Oops, I can't thread anything on YouTube. So on this, you have a hex. So you can use a wrench or just take a thin Phillips screwdriver through the holes and tighten her down. And then you can tighten the can down and it's going to be on there good. And then the can's going to come off from here. It's much easier than dinking around with adapters all the time. So I love that. All right, let's assemble. We got the washer in there and this, and we'll see if it's just right like the 3 Bears. Okay, it was like the 3 Bears. That washer was perfect. This one was too thick and you'd have a gap, and we just wanted it just right. So I got it blue Loctited. I can take it off if I want to, but it's not going to come off when I'm shooting, ever. All right, so let's do a picture with the blast diverter on there, and then with the can on there. Also, if you're wondering about this, why do I have this on a pistol? This is for a bipod when I want to shoot for groups, but it also works as a hand stop when I'm shooting. So it's versatile also. So this is 3-in-1 and this is 2-in-1. So there's that. Okay, with the blast diverter, looking good. Looking good. Okay. That'll work, and we'll test that. Maybe in the next video we'll test all of them and see what happens. Okay, with the can on there, it's perfect. And it's so much easier taking it on and off without having your adapter come off and stick to the barrel. This is supposed to stick to the barrel and stay on there, so it makes life easier, especially when you're switching the can around all the time. So much easier. Okay, so say you can't have a suppressor or you're not willing to get a suppressor, then don't even bother with something like that. You'll have your regular flash hider. You can buy cheap muzzle brakes. These are under $20 and they work. They're kind of heavy. There's another version that's a Foxtrot for a 9 that just blasts downward, keep the muzzle down. But what I really like are blast diverters. So here's another Foxtrot here. Super small, and it does work. It blasts out forward, and it does keep the muzzle down a little bit, and it doesn't take up much room there. And then you'll see their bigger ones. This one's for a 45. It's basically just a tube that blasts everything out forward. And then if you're looking for a Foxtrot upper and you want a suppressor, one thing to be aware of, and I've talked about this before, and I've gotten on their case for this. A lot of their uppers will come with a blast diverter that's this far in the handguard. Well, you're never going to be able to screw a suppressor on there. And I got on their case. I'm like, hey, dudes, you got to offer more shorter barrels that can thread a can on there. But a lot of them are just offering with the blast diverter, which is down here on the threading, so your barrel's right here. There's no way you can put a suppressor on there. And so I got on their case because some people get confused. Hey, I can't get my can on there. Well, duh, you can't because it's not out to here. So far with them, you need the 10-inch barrel, and you want to make sure you see the flash hider or diverter out here. So there's that. Now, they do have them on sale right now during Labor Day sales and all that. And to me, the Foxtrots are the best value for a PPC AR type pistol or rifle. You can't even touch them for what you get for the money. Okay, I don't care if it's a Banshee or whatever. This thing's going to run like a mother, and you're not going to have issues. Everything's nitrited. They have the best bolt hold open in the world right here, external. It swivels, okay? There's no way you're going to break your bolt release, which happens on 9mm a lot of times. Your bolt slams and breaks that thing. Well, this can't happen that way. It's made purposely built, so I want to warn you about that. And then their lowers have a mag release right there where your finger is. It is perfect. Everything is perfect for the Glock mags. And they looked at this and they said, okay, that ain't right. You know, the original Colt, I have the old style. They're like, that ain't right. Let's do it right. And they did. And that's all I'm going to say. They are my favorites. And they are for the working man as far as the price goes. But they didn't skimp. Everything's nitrited. Their barrels are so accurate. Probably the most accurate PPC barrels out there. And then you have that wonderful bolt hold open, mag release, and the lower is just awesome. So there's my advice. Can't be beat. You can go cheaper and have fun with that. Enjoy that. But this is going to last forever. This one was so dirty. To do this video, my trigger group was caked. Everything was caked, and it runs like a machine, a sewing machine. And I had to thoroughly clean all this out. It was so dirty before I could do this video. Next video, we'll shoot it with the muzzle brake, with the blast diverter, and with the can, and see what the difference is. And we'll go from there. And then maybe I'll run some of these HSTs through a milk jug, and that's what I got these for. Even though these are plus P, I don't need plus P in a 10-inch barrel. I got to get some non-plus P, for next to the bed, because with a can on here, no one's going to hear it in the house, and it's going to take care of business. Until next time, thanks for watching.